The items on the agenda?
Yeah.
Okay.
Steve, you ready? I'm ready. I'll talk to you later.
Morning, sir. Okay. That one. Good morning. Can we have your attention, please? We're convening a Drainage District Board of Directors meeting for today, September the 18th, 2012. Present are Commissioner Palacios, Precinct 2, Commissioner Palacios, Precinct 4, and myself. We have a quorum. Anything under open forum? Ms. Townsend?
Would think with me being on the Drainage Committee and going to almost every meeting that I would know what in the world is going on. And I committed to supporting the drainage bond a long time ago because I heard the need. However, it gets very convoluted when you start talking about how to finance. And that's when I kind of bow out because a whole bunch of numbers are thrown at you, and I really don't like to have things not black and white. I like everything real simple.
Why don't you tell us what you think is convoluted?
Okay, I don't understand, and this is part of the printout for the bond. And it says the district would sell approximately.
Would you mind waiting until we talk about that? That way we can have a discussion. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to ask or say anything, or any of us.
Oh,
and we have
okay.
An agenda item, and we'll be glad to call you up at that time.
I'll wait.
Don't we have an agenda item?
Judge.
Oh, I apologize. Go ahead.
So you're not going to be able to answer, but maybe Godfrey can. Anyhow, it says the district would sell approximately between 69 million to 79 billion bonds in February of 2013 and finance approximately 100 million in 2014. What? See, I don't understand that statement at all.
Why don't you, Godfrey, stick around for the regular meeting. We do have an agenda item. We got a resolution we're going to be working on adopting.
We're taking no action.
We're not going to take action?
No.
Well, keep on going, Virginia.
I think Godfrey should answer my question. What's the 100 million in 2014?
Judge, you can do that after.
Again.
I can tell you over here.
I guess I have to wait till Chris comes from First Southwest, maybe?
Yes.
And he can explain it to me?
The figures are in black and white. They're all there.
Yeah, they are. But
Yeah, they are. I'll hand one of these out when we get to that part of, because I've already signed up to speak
All
up
right.
also.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Any concerns with the consent agenda?
No concerns, Judge.
Move to approve. Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Item 4.
Item 4, approval of contract for election services between Hidalgo County and Hidalgo County Drainage District Number 1 in accordance with certain interlocal cooperative agreements dated September 20th, 2005. Judge, Commissioners, I'm going to defer any further discussion on this to Steve Crane and also to Mr. Baldeguerra. They've been working with the Elections Office on that particular contract, sir.
Judge, Commissioners, as you may recall, in September 2005, the county and the Drainage District entered into an interlocal agreement whereby the county would provide certain services to the Drainage District for a fee. One of the provisions of that agreement also included any other additional services on terms that may be mutually agreeable to the county and the district. So under that clause, the Drainage District is entering into a contract for election services for the bond election to have the election department of the county provide certain services to the district in conducting that election. And that is this agenda item.
At no cost?
No, there will be a cost.
What kind of cost?
It's about $109,000 cost, Judge, and that is based on the items that they have to print out additional to ours, which totals up about $56,000. The rest of it is associated with the pro rata share of what the potential cost for the hourly salary is. Once the election is completed, then that difference between what their actual cost is and what the actually paid will be adjusted. So more than likely, that $109,000 should go down. We paid about $46,000 to the county last time we had an election, so there's always been a cost to the district for the elections being taken place.
And there was a jump then from 46 to 109?
Yes, sir.
And the reason is, I really still don't understand it.
The reason is, I'm assuming, is because the amount of cost or the salary increases associated with the staffing and also the documentation the elections department feels that needs to take place now. There have been some statutes that have come down since then to now that indicate that the elections are mandated. The elections office is mandated to charge certain percentages.
That's more than twice as much, and I don't think salaries have increased that much.
What we paid last time, like I said, Judge, was $44,000. And I believe that the proposal that they're giving us now has some merit behind it. There is some justification on it. So as far as my opinion on it, I would recommend approval, and I think it'll be finalized once the actual cost is associated.
All right. Entertain a motion to approve as recommended.
So moved. Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Item 5.
Item 5, requesting approval to rescind action taken on September 11, 2012, agenda item number 34067. This was the award for the rock riprap, Judge, Commissioners. I had read to y'all 3 vendors, and in reality, it's only 2 vendors. The last vendor, which is Gulf Coast Limestone, because of the proximity of location on that was not an item or a vendor that was awarded or recommended. We do have the letter of recommendation that indicates the 2 vendors, which are Avila Stone and Allied Aggregate, which would be the ones that we would be recommending on the next item.
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
Those in favor of approving this request indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item B, requesting approval to accept bids and award agreement to 2 bidders meeting all specification requirements under RFB number 12-014-0725, stone riprap, material weir number 2 repairs, and those 2 vendors are Avila Stone with a cost of $38 per ton and Allied Aggregate for a cost of $38.64 per ton.
Move for approval.
Need a second?
Second discussion on that.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
These are the 2 same bidders on it. What was the difference between?
64 cents per ton, Commissioner. And what we're saying, we have a multiple bidder. We're going to go with the lowest bidder that's there. However, if they're not delivering enough material that could delay the project and require the contractor to charge an additional, we have the ability to go to the next provider to give us enough rock to complete the project.
No, my question is, these 2 providers participated on the first,
Yes, sir. They're the same vendors.
and the difference between the bids at that time and now,
They're the same.
they're the same.
There's no change, there's nothing. It's just that
Thank you.
I had brought to the board 3 instead of the 2.
Thank you. No,
Those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Aye, motion carries.
We do have an item under closed session of the board will consider it.
All right.
It'll be item 6C.
Need, at this time, pursuant to 551-071 and 072, need a motion to proceed to executive session to discuss item number 6C.
So moved.
so moved.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. We'll be in executive session for a few minutes.
Yes, I'm getting my pen.
Again, we're convening our regular Hidalgo County Commissioners Court meeting for today, September. Sir?
You gotta go drainage open and close drainage.
Sorry about that. At this time, entertain a motion to adjourn, nothing to discuss under open session.
So move.
Second. Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. All right, we're now convening our regular Hidalgo County Commissioners Court meeting for today, September the 18th, 2012. Present are Commissioners Flores, Precinct 3, Palacios, Precinct 4, and myself. We have a quorum. Please stand and remain standing for the posting of the colors.
Attention, present on!
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. We want to acknowledge the posting of the colors was conducted by the Judge Mario E. Ramirez, Hidalgo County Juvenile Boot Camp Color Guard. The officer in charge is Officer Gilberto Flores. And we also want to acknowledge that the Pledge of Allegiance was led by Mr. Ray Molano, representing the Rio Grande Valley Veterans Alliance and the Vietnam Veterans of America. Thank you. Yes, sir, go ahead.
Judge, with the court's permission, we'd like to take item number 7A.
Yes, sir, please, go ahead and proceed. We're going to be taking an item out of order. We're going to proceed to item number 7A.
Thank you, Judge Hyman, and ready with the county judge's office. Item number 7A.
They didn't do the prayer. You can still do it.
Go ahead, sir.
Item number 7A, let me read the caption for you. It's presentation of letter of authorization from the Office of Governor Rick Perry, ordering flags to be flown at half-staff in honor of U.S. Army Chief Warrant Officer 2, Jose Luis Montenegro, on Wednesday, September 19th, 2012. Here to give the court a briefing is Veteran Service Officer Felix Rodriguez with Hidalgo County.
Judge, commissioners, ladies, gentlemen, comrades in arms, thank you for having me here this morning. I'd like to give you a briefing as to what will transpire here these next 2 days. And this is a letter to you, Judge Ramon Garcia, County of Hidalgo. Dear Judge Garcia, first on behalf of the Governor and our office, let me express our sincere condolences at the loss of this courageous young Texan. Your community should be proud of this brave man. As per your request, all state and national flags in the County of Hidalgo and any other political subdivision may be lowered to half-staff in honor of the life and military service of U.S. Army Chief Warrant Officer 2, Jose Luis Montenegro, on Wednesday, September the 19th, 2012, the date of his burial. Flags should be returned to full staff on Thursday, September the 20th, 2012. Respectfully, Greg Davidson, Office of the Governor. Judge, if I may, this is a briefing as well as what we can expect to happen here these next couple of days. This is to advise you of the final update on Hidalgo County's fallen hero, Chief Warrant Officer 2, Jose Luis Montenegro. He was shot down in Afghanistan. He was a pilot. He and another fellow pilot were shot down, and both made the ultimate sacrifice. Jose Luis Montenegro's body arrived at the McAllen Miller International Airport, McCreary Aviation, on Sunday, September the 16th, 2012, at 10:50 a.m. Memorial Funeral Home in San Juan is in charge of the funeral services and arrangements. Viewing was at Memorial Funeral Home yesterday. There will be viewing again this afternoon for the public, and it will be with a funeral, a rosary at 7 this afternoon. Public is invited as well for the public viewing at 5 this afternoon, 5 to 9 this evening. Funeral Mass will be celebrated Wednesday, September the 19th, at St. John the Baptist Catholic Church in San Juan at 9 in the morning. Interment will follow at Rio Grande Valley State Veterans Cemetery at 11 in the morning at South Inspiration Road, Mission, here in Texas, of course. Thank you, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
May I be excused?
Yes, sir. We want to express our condolences to the Montenegro family. I was there yesterday. That his mom, that poor lady, suffered the loss of her mother 3 days before suffering the loss of her son. And it would be respectful of our community for as many of us that can make time to show up at this viewing at the Rosary tonight between 5 and 9 at the San Juan Memorial Funeral Home. At this time, I would ask Ms. Townsend, which you could lead us in prayer, please. Please stand.
Almighty God, we come together today for the good of the citizens of Hidalgo County. Give us your wisdom as we make decisions that will affect them today and in the years to come. Help us to work well together, recognizing that each of us are here because we want what is best for Hidalgo County. We ask for your blessing and your guidance, and we ask you to bless our troops, bless our veterans, and help us to remember how much we owe them. We ask this in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen. At this time, we'll be taking another item out of order. We'll be taking up item number 7B, as in boy, a proclamation honoring UTPA on their 85th anniversary.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Karina Cardosa with the Public Affairs Division. We have in our midst the President of the University of Texas Pan American and the Vice President for University Advancement, Dr. Robert Nelson and Ms. Veronica Gonzalez, and I'm going to ask them to come up, stand behind the podium, and as I read the proclamation. So yes, we're here today to celebrate the 85th anniversary of this grand institution that is in our backyard that has educated many of our county employees, many of our county leaders, many of our county residents, and we're honored today to be able to recognize them with this proclamation. May I read it, sir?
Yes, go ahead.
Proclamation honoring the 85th anniversary of the University of Texas Pan American. Whereas the University of Texas Pan American, UTPA, was established as a junior college in 1927, over 85 years ago, it has since evolved to a 4-year university that serves the educational needs of the students of South Texas and the Rio Grande Valley. And whereas UTPA is the state's 10th largest public university, currently serving a student population of 19,304, of which 88.7% are Hispanic. It is located in the state's 6th most populous metropolitan area, McAllen-Edinburgh Mission, MSA, and serves one of the fastest growing areas of the state, the Rio Grande Valley of South Texas. And whereas UTPA is a dynamic, evolving institution with a long history of responding to changing regional needs in the Rio Grande Valley, it offers 56 bachelor's programs, 56 master's programs, 3 doctorate programs, and 2 cooperative programs, and boasts 797 faculty and 648 full-time staff. And whereas UTPA has expanded outreach and incentive programs to increase higher education aspirations and encourage academic preparation among prospective students, enhance student support services to improve retention and graduation, and developed additional degree programs, especially at the graduate level, to broaden opportunities for the people of South Texas. And whereas UTPA has increased its involvement in research and public service activities with special emphasis on regional matters, strengthened its collaborative efforts with public schools to improve the whole spectrum of education, and emphasized the use of technology to maximize the effectiveness and efficiency of institutional programs and services. And whereas Hidalgo County proudly boasts numerous UTPA alumni, including members of Commissioners Court, district and county judges, and other county elected officials, leaders, and employees. And whereas Hidalgo County officials applaud the university for its long-standing commitment to providing higher educational advantages to every young man and every young woman of the Rio Grande Valley, helping them achieve academic and professional success. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court hereby recognizes the University of Texas Pan American in commemoration of the 85th anniversary of this great institution, which proudly serves the higher education needs of South Texas and the Rio Grande Valley. Approved this 18th day of September, 2012.
So move.
Second, if you need.
Those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you. And at this point, I would like to ask members in the audience, county employees, county leaders, everyone that's here, if you can please rise and be recognized as a proud UTPA alum, whether former student or graduate. Please stand at this moment. I'd like to introduce Dr. Robert Nelson to say a few words.
Good morning, Dr. Nelson.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. I got an email last week that said that I get too emotional about this university. I do, because I'm really proud of this university. When you see this many people stand, when you realize that the university started all those years ago, okay, and I wear this ring to remind me, 1927, that we've graduated 70,000 students, that we've graduated since the war. since the war began in Iraq. 1,700 students who left, fought, and came back. 1,700 students that we've graduated. We are committed to the city of Edinburgh, to the county of Hidalgo, to the Rio Grande Valley, to the state of Texas, to be the very best university we can possibly be. We're committed to being there as partners, to reaching out and helping. We ask all of you, especially you alumni, to come back to the university, be there, be part of us, help us. We will continue to grow. We have a new strategic plan. It's called Bronx Country, the Engaged University. We're going to grow to 30,000 students. She's going to raise $25 million. I hired good people. And we are going to succeed. So, to the commissioners and the judge, and to all of the fine citizens here, thank you for having us. Thank you for supporting us. Somos familia y siempre vamos a ser familia. We are family and we will always be family. Thank you.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners, and we're very appreciative of this proclamation that you've passed, and I'm very excited to be a part of the university. We will be passing the plate on the way out, obviously. We have some very aggressive goals for the next years, but it's hard to believe that UTPA or University of Texas Pan American or many names that we've held is 85 years old. But we are not getting older, we're getting better. And as the President noted, we are now over 19,000 students, and what a difference an education has made in their lives, in all the graduates' lives, and in our community. And our goal is to continue to improve our county, our cities, to improve the local economy, and the way to do that is through an education. So we passed out to each of you some points of pride, because we are very proud of many of the things that are happening at UTPA, whether it's in engineering or nursing or any of the healthcare fields or the College of Business. Our rankings are fantastic, and we want the public to know that. We are not just your hometown university that you go to because you can't go anywhere else. We are the university of choice, and we will be the university of choice, not only in the Rio Grande Valley, but for students all over the state and this nation. So thank you so much for having us with you today, and go Bronx.
Judge, Commissioners, before we take a picture, I would like to open up the podium and see if you all would have any anecdotes or anything to share from your time in the university.
Are you talking about members of the public?
The court. You would like to say
I don't think
words.
there's any question that our community really appreciates the fact that education is the key to success. Education has been the key to the successes that have been achieved by our community, and our community has fully embraced, and the university has fully embraced us, but I didn't realize it was 70,000 strong. That's a lot of people, that's a lot of graduates. That's a lot of achievement. Now, the university needs to be congratulated, and we need to remember the efforts of all those individuals that came before us, that the first are the ones that decided to set up Edinburgh College, or I think, was it? A two-year junior college. In fact, we're sitting on the grounds of that particular college that was established in 1927. I don't believe it became a four-year university until 1952, a four-year college. It didn't become a university until 1971. In between, I kind of sneaked in and got a degree from Edinburgh College, and then went on to law school. And so have a lot of other young men and women, and we are, and I am, and I know all of us are, very grateful for the fact that we had a university of choice close to home, and we were able to achieve what we desired to do at the time. No, but thank you very much for all of your efforts today. Commissioners, or
Well, growing up in graduated in 1991, the first thing I did was serve my country. After coming back, I had every choice to go wherever I wanted, and I chose UTPA, not just because it was here at home, but just the mere pride of what our community has embraced and what it's come to be. And it's amazing that, it's a destination choice. Back when I was growing up, everybody was talking about what university to go to, and, most would be reluctant to say UTPA, but I think these days everybody says, if I can just get there. It becomes a door for many students, not just here local, but throughout the state of Texas, and I'm very proud to be a part of UTPA. Very, very proud.
Thank you, Judge. Commissioner, did you want to say something?
yes,
I was one of the lucky few that got a scholarship to play baseball with the Bronx. I got all a $50 scholarship. But that was like a couple of weeks ago. I really can't believe the progress that the dedication that you all have instilled in the university. And I, for one, am appreciative, and I'm glad to congratulate you guys for doing a fantastic job. Thank you.
And Judge, we wanted to, commissioners wanted to let the public know, the people in the audience that are here, we have a birthday cake outside, so please help yourself to some refreshments. We're not going to sing happy birthday today, I'm sorry. But we really want to congratulate the university, a very great partner to our county and very helpful in the area. So we welcome, actually, we'd like to take a picture with the members of the court first, and then I'll ask any of the county employees and or officials who are alumni to join us. So first, we'll do the Commissioner's Court. You don't mind? Here's the proclamation. You can stand up. And we now invite members from the audience who are UTPA former students and or graduates to please join us up front for a picture. All members in the audience who are former UTPA students and or graduates. And actually present, current and or former, because I know that there are some that are present. Once again, congratulations, UTPA. And please join us in the foyer for some refreshments.
All right, can we have your attention, please? For those of you that are interested, there is some coffee, there's some cake, there's some pastries outside. At this time, we're going to be proceeding and taking another item out of order. I know that our policy is to acknowledge those items that involve our elected officials, and we've got one that I know we have if nothing else, a proud father. Item number 7C, out of the County Judge's Office, regarding the recognition of John Carlos Trevino for receiving a 2012 Excellence in My Market Award by the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences for his work in Operation Clean Slate.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners, once again. We're very proud to be recognizing this young man, this individual who worked in our office for several years. We're very proud of all of the accomplishments that he's been able to do. And this past year, if you recall, in 2011, last year, almost to the day, we kicked off our Operation Clean Slate campaign. Now, you're going to be getting an update later on in the agenda about this project. But if you recall, last year, we kicked off this project with a big press conference and a public service announcement that was produced by John Carlos Trevino. And it was such a hit, it was such a funny, quirky little video, and it got such great response by the viewing audience who were reminded to clean their slate before it was too late. Now, Carlos actually submitted the production that he did to the 2012 Excellence in My Market Awards to the National Academy of Arts and Television Arts and Sciences. And we just got notified recently that he was the recipient of an Emma, which is like the Emmy, but it's a different type of award. It's the Excellence in My Market. So he was honored in the promotions category as a producer on Hidalgo County's television commercial, Operation Clean Slate. As you know, the commercial was part of a campaign by the county to collect unpaid traffic fines. The commercial aired for several months on news stations across the Rio Grande Valley and helped the county collect over $500,000. John Carlos and Hidalgo County were the only government entity honored by the Academy. The rest of the winners were state news stations. So we are very proud to recognize John Carlos Trevino with this accomplishment. And he is joined here today by Ms. Jackie Barber, his fiancée, with his father, Sheriff Lupe Trevino, and his mother, Mary Trevino, and his brother, Chris Trevino. So once again, we'd like to present this award. Let me get it out. It's very pretty. And the award reads...
I don't know, Sheriff, do you want to come forward? Would you like to come forward?
The award reads, National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences, Lone Star Chapter, 2012 Excellence in My Market Awards for the category of promotion for Operation Clean Slate, presented to John Carlos Trevino, producer, Hidalgo County Public Affairs. Congratulations, Carlos.
Thanks. As you all know, I recently resigned last month to start official pre-production on my first feature film. So I'll always treasure the memories that I spent here, all 5 years, and it was a lot of fun working with y'all, but sometimes you gotta go. So thank you, Valda, and Judge and Joseph, Commissioner Palacios, Commissioner Quintanilla, for all letting me do the videos and just letting me do my thing, and you all just supporting what I did. And
good luck to you in your future endeavors, sir.
Thank you, sir.
John, if I may say, it's been a pleasure working with you since the first years as I was a staffer. I really enjoyed working alongside with you. You're a great product of your parents standing behind you. And I was sad to see you go. I'm very fortunate to at least retain another product, which is Chris, which stands behind there. But you guys are amazing, and I wish you the best of luck. I really do.
Thank you, sir.
Karina, would you introduce
Yes.
his parents and
Yes,
brothers?
absolutely. Joining Carlos today here, as I mentioned, is the sheriff, his father, his proud father, Sheriff Lupe Trevino, and his mother, Miss Mary Trevino, and his brother, Chris Trevino, and he's also joined by his fiancée over here. Snapping photos, Miss Jackie Barber. I would... We can take a photo. That'd be great.
Yes.
Thank you.
There was one other thing. We also submitted for an Emmy, and we'll know the 28th of this month. And we have we submitted three different things for that, so I might be back.
Good luck, sir. All right, at this time, we want to acknowledge the presence of County Commissioner Precinct 1, Joel Quintanilla.
Thank you, Judge.
And our consent agenda, any concerns?
Vote to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. I understand no action is going to be needed on 5C?
Yes.
5D?
Thank you, Judge. 5D is actually under our Juvenile Justice Delinquency Program Grant. I'm asking approval to accept the Young Adult Re-Energize Project. That would be grant award number JA11J2025-41901, and that dollar amount of our grant is $124,027. There is no cash match required under this grant.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
The next two action items for the grant would be the certification of revenues by our county auditor and the appropriation of the $124,027. That would be for the period of September 1st, 2012 through June 30th of 2013.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And Judge, for the record, that was items 5D, 2, and 3.
Yes, sir.
Judge, the only other action item I have is just a request to advertise a clerk 1 position at the public defender's office.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Item 6, our constables. 6A.
Good morning, Commissioners, Judge. Actually, this was supposed to have been done by Precinct 1. I don't know why they're not here, but I'll go ahead and take this up because it affects each one of our precincts.
All right.
With this, let me just read the item and then discussion, consideration, approval for FLSA as exempt Chief Deputy Constables to participate and receive cash payment for overtime hours worked in current and future grant-funded operations. Action to be limited to the grantor, agency, institution providing Hidalgo County 100% reimbursement of overtime, salaries, wages, and applicable fringe benefits as set forth on the grant specifications. What this is overtime only when you receive grant funding for Stone Garden or Border Star that allows the chief deputy to work that and get paid for that overtime only, not his regular duties. And I'm not sure who had the issue with that. I think the auditor's office.
Judge, there was some, I believe Josephine from the DA's office was looking at this, and there was some questions or concerns that were not resolved before this meeting. We're recommending no action on this item.
You're recommending no action?
Right, there were some issues that...
Is this time sensitive, Constable? Is this time sensitive?
Well, go ahead. Let me let Chris.
Judge, I think originally we had a concern. We wanted to know if the Sheriff's Office had done a similar program like this and how they handled it, if there was an existing county policy that addressed it. I didn't get a response, but ultimately what I advised the constables was that Commissioner's Court had the authority to make the determination.
I think we checked with your legal counsel, and I believe he has no opposition to it.
Mr. Green?
I got a phone call late yesterday afternoon, and I was asked a general question. I gave a general answer.
So you need more time?
Well, I'm saying I have not reviewed this particular grant to see if it's eligible under the grant.
So you have no problem with a request for no action at this time?
Well, Ms. Ramirez apparently has reviewed the grant, I'm assuming.
Commissioner, what it is that the chief deputy's salary is part of, or his salary is calculated into the grant. If you're trying to compare it to the Sheriff's Office, that's a whole different ballgame because their command structure is different. I believe from their lieutenant down or captain down, I'm not sure, they're allowed to work those overtime hours if they're working the grant. Our comparison to that is that our chief deputy is equivalent to their lieutenant. And so we're a small structure. We don't have 250 people that they have to supervise. We've only got a small amount. So our chief deputy we require him to be out there to work that. So all we're asking is only under the grant conditions only that be allowed overtime, and that's how the grant is written. So I don't know what the issue would be. I don't think there is any policy for that matter, other than they're exempt employees. That's the only.
What if I approve it subject to legal or review on it? Can that be?
Mr. Guerra, did you want to make any comments?
Judge, good morning. The only concern that was raised is whether or not, in order to exempt the exempt employer, to allow the exempt employer to receive overtime, there may be a requirement that they have to go before the Civil Service Commission, and then we're subject to the approval of the Commissioner's Court if they approve for an exempt employee to get compensated for overtime, whether it's under the county money or grant money.
So if it's not time sensitive, maybe we ought to give them another week so we don't have to redo it.
I don't know that we have handled this kind of situation before where we want to exempt an exempt employee from what the law requires.
Yeah. Steve?
My only concern is the provisions of the actual grant itself, and are there items in the actual grant specifying who these funds can be spent for and for what purposes?
All right. So you're requesting that week to look into it, is that correct?
I think it would behoove...
1 week would be okay, Judge. I think we can resolve it by next week.
All right. Okay, then that, we'll take no action on item number 6A.
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Gallardo?
Yeah, if we can take number 6A, they're both, 6B, I'm sorry, they're both for the same thing, and I'll just read both names as I read number 1. And if you can approve of 1 and 2. Discussion and consideration approval to appoint Reynaldo Trevino Jr. and Selena Garza as Deputy Constable by Constable Lázaro Gallardo Jr., Constable Precinct 3, in accordance with Texas Local Government Code Section 86.011. This has to do with 2 vacancies that I currently have.
Move for approval B1 and 2.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Guerra, what item are you here on?
Judge, in going to the Elections Commission on
those
Friday,
2 slots?
on the investigator slots for investigating vote fraud.
All right, that would be item 9. Let's take it up at this time.
Yes, sir.
You're seeking approval to create 2 full-time positions.
Yes, sir. As you know, we've received a lot of complaints through the Elections Department and my office personally on assisted voting, where some people are being compelled in the county to have somebody witness how they vote, especially in some of the local contested elections of some of the school boards and maybe even some of the city. What I'd like to do is have the Commissioners Court give me 2 investigators to immediately jump into those complaints, and even while the voting is going on, to identify those people that are assisting and those people that are being assisted as to whether they really indeed are disabled or cannot read and write, where they need assistance. My take on the situation would be that these people will be active. We will have a working grand jury where we will haul people during the election before a grand jury to see if indeed they need voter's assistance, where I know in one of the school districts, principals or assistant principals have been assisted in voting, and which not only puts a whole cloud on the election, but also on the elected officials. I might add also that anybody who participates in a conspiracy to carry this out is going to be as guilty or more on a harsher crime, which includes candidates, office holders, and the people that are assisting. There is a privacy of how you cast your vote. And I believe in some of these situations, especially in Elsa, La Jolla, and some other places, the people are destroying that privacy that the vote caster enjoys under the Constitution of the United States and the state of Texas. And if we don't take steps to stop that abuse, we're going to continue having situations where people that shouldn't be elected are getting elected, to the detriment of our community and our
Move to approve.
local constituency.
Second.
Yes,
I
sir.
think it's a good move.
Very good, sir. Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries unanimously.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, sir.
That's for items 2, 3, and 4?
Yes.
2, 3, and 4, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to item number 7D as in David. Steve, is this another one of those
That's
items?
one of the items we need to take no action on, Judge.
Yes, Judge, the county judge's office is requesting no action on that particular item.
Item 8, Art County Treasurer. Is the county treasurer here, Ms. Garcia? Or someone from her office?
Morning, Judge, Commissioners. Alfredo Samarripa on behalf of Norma Garcia, County Treasurer. The item is approval of the official appointment of myself, Alfredo Samarripa, as Chief Deputy for the Hidalgo County Treasurer's Office.
And how do we go about appointing you? Isn't that done by Ms. Garcia?
This is done by Norma. We just needed to present it to court. I think that was part of the court decision last week when they brought the bond.
Why don't we take some action accepting her approval?
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Congratulations, sir. Item 10, our county clerk's office.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Annette Muniz, Chief Deputy for Arturo Guajardo Jr., Hidalgo County Clerk. We are requesting the deletion of a position, Administrative Assistant 3, and creating a new position, Collections Enforcement Officer 2. It is actually a savings to the county.
And
Move for approval of 10A, 1 and 2.
1 and 2.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. I would also like to just provide you with just some information on our collections department.
All right. Thank you. Excuse me, Annette. Yes, sir. Why don't you explain what this is? These are fines that are being collected for what years?
January to August.
The first page, Judge, is the collections for this year. It's from January through August of 2012. And up to date, the collections department has collected $2 million, $2,520,000. It gives you the assessed for this year that's been assessed by the courts, what we've collected based on those assessed, and then also what we've collected on the past.
All right.
And then the second page is for last year. A total of $3,267,000 was collected last year.
And these are the monies that go to Road and Bridge?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 11, our Sheriff's Office.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Yes.
11, pursuant to Hidalgo County Cellular Telephone Policy, Contract DIR SDD 1080, a presentation for discussion and acceptance of the and approval of cellular phone request for data card request for the following. Approval to, for requisition number 222-799 for 20 Novatel Mi-5 4082 unlimited wireless data devices at a total rate of $37.99 per month.
Move for approval.
Second. Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Requesting approval to correct caption for agenda item number AI 32393, previously approved on 5/29/12 to reflect the contract of DIR SDD 1080. 1780, sir.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
See, approval to appropriate $235,500 from the unreserved fund balance in the Sheriff's Federal Sharing U.S. DA of Justice Fund 1229.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
That's it, sir. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Barrera, thank you, sir. What item do you have?
Okay, we're at 22A. The scofflaw update.
Good morning, Judge.
Item what, sir?
22A, sir.
Budget and Management Sector.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Ray Salazar of the Department of Budget and Management. I'm here to provide you a status update on the scofflaw vehicle registration denial program. This is an offset of the Clean Slate program that was originally derived to increase our fines and fees. As you know, the scofflaw program is a resourceful and powerful tool for improving the collections of unpaid fines and fees owed to our county. The basic premise behind the program is that a county assessor collector may refuse to register a motor vehicle registration if the owner owes the county money for a fine or fee that is 90 days past due and owed to any of our justices of the peace. This program was developed utilizing best practices and innovative strategies currently being modeled in other counties such as Cameron County and El Paso County. We have conducted several workshops with the Justice of the Peace at key intervals throughout the development of this program. Most recently, we held one last Thursday where we presented them a similar status update and fielded several questions. What the committee has done through the assistance of the IT department is created a database that will be assessed by the tax office to easily determine if individuals wanting to register their vehicles presently have an outstanding fee or fine owed to the county. As individuals are being serviced at the tax office, motor vehicle registration clerks will scan their driver's license to determine if they have a hold. If a hold exists, they will be notified and handed a set of instructions for remedying the situation. The development of the current and automated outstanding database is complete. Presently, facilities management is coordinating with the IT and tax office department to install the necessary hardware at each of the motor vehicle registration clerk stations and tax office substations. They have notified us that they will be completing this installation by this Friday. Once this is complete, the following week will be dedicated to training and conducting live demonstrations with tax office motor vehicle registration clerks and their supervisors to familiarize themselves with the system and new procedures. We are on schedule to commence the scofflaw program on October 1st, and we'll be working with Karina from the Public Affairs Division this week to outline the media campaign.
All right. Is that $20 going to be used, that fee?
Sure. The $20 presently by statute can only be used for program expenditures. What that means is any expenditures related to the scofflaw program will be utilized for that specific purpose.
This is what you earlier, I guess almost a year ago, said was going to be used to pay for the equipment?
That's correct. All future equipment and all future media campaigns, personnel, maintenance, hardware that is needed to sustain and enhance this program can be utilized using this $20 fee.
Okay.
Item number 2, discussion, consideration, and approval to impose a $20 scofflaw fee to all JP cases with outstanding balances over 90 days. That is what our committee has discussed extensively. We conference call with El Paso County, and we visited Cameron County, and they specifically told us that they are also utilizing a similar fee structure. Cameron County is utilizing a $20 fee.
So you need action for this?
Yes.
I'm sorry?
Move for approval?
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item number 3, discussion, consideration, and approval to authorize the tax assessor collector's office to administer the $20 scofflaw fee.
Move for approval?
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners.
Armando, did you want to make any comments?
No, I was just here for if you had any questions. Like I said, we're already installing the equipment, and we'll get going, and then we'll report back to you. Of course, in any new program, I'm sure there's going to be little things that don't go exactly the way they're supposed to be going, but we'll keep you all informed, and any bugs in the system here, we'll try to work them out.
You might want to send out a press release to let the community know that there's going to be an additional $20 if they don't pay on time.
We will, Judge.
Okay.
Judge, if I may, I'd like to just commend the committee members. I know they've been working real diligently on this program. It's obviously going to be at the benefit of the county to collect all those uncollected fees, but I just want to thank them for their diligence on working hard to get this program going.
Sergio, is this going to change the budget?
No, sir.
What is the projected income from this fee?
Right now, we don't really have any projections. We don't know how many individuals will be coming through the tax office that have the outstanding fines and fees. Again, we have, I believe, over 200,000 cases, if I'm not mistaken. So we should see a significant amount of fees on these fines and fees. Our main revenue stream that we'll be utilizing would be the unpaid fines and fees. Again, we didn't use those. We didn't have any projections that we included in the budget. We expect that would help cover some of the budget shortfalls that we're going to have for next year. So we haven't utilized any of those additional revenues or expected revenues in the upcoming 2013 budget.
Well, it's important to note there's about 42 million outstanding.
Correct.
And of that, for Commissioner's sakes, about 40% of that will go back to Road and Bridge. So, it could be a significant difference in this upcoming year's budget.
The reason I'm asking is the auditor, has he accounted for this monies in the budget?
The auditor has not accounted for that, since there's really no track record for the auditor to be able to do any revenue projections. There's really no, this fee has not been utilized. Again, the auditor probably, once we have a history, once this program gets going, sometime next year, mid-August, they'll come again and certify this as new source revenue, and we'll be able to appropriate it at that time. Is that correct, Ms. Fong?
Yes, that would be correct. And of course, any revenue is restricted to the use of the program.
Okay. Judge, my plan is to put that, those $20 in a separate account and see how fast it builds up before we figure out what we need to do with it, whether it's hire more personnel, more equipment, or what have you. But first, we need to see how much we're going to get. We have no track record. I don't know, those people are going to try to avoid us or not pay the fee or move to another county or what, so until we collect some of the money and put it in the bank, hopefully in an interest-bearing account. I don't know that we have those anymore, but that's what the plan is.
Mr.
Well, they do have them, but at 1%. So
the fees would need to be recorded in the general fund, and that's not an interest-bearing account.
No, it's got to be in a separate fund, just sort of like my special inventory fund. That's how we plan to do it, keep track of it.
All right.
Because like I said, like you said, that money can only be used for program expense.
Right, and we have other similar accounts like that we reserve, so it...
Right. County Record Archive, I think, is one fund similar to this one.
Right, the money goes into the general fund, however, it is reserved.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Townsend, did you desire to say something on this issue?
Yes, I had to ask, is this new additional duties for the tax office? And if it is, do we get to hire more people? Or is it going to be the same?
Are we doing it for what?
Is this more duties for the people in the tax office?
Well, yes. I don't see the additional duties. We're not hiring anybody for this. They're just going to be collecting.
That's why I'm asking. That's why I thought you should be.
Well, we're going to be just asking people to letting them know that because they didn't pay timely, they're going to be paying $20 more.
Yeah, that's...
I mean, I don't see that taking up additional time.
Oh, you don't think so?
Could I answer that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, it will take additional time. However, we're getting the extra $20. Once we build up that fund, whatever money is in there, if we deem that the priority is more personnel, well, then we'll hire more personnel to do that. If we figure that in order to expedite the system, it's going to take a piece of equipment or more equipment, well, that's what we'll do, but we'll get it from the $20 that we're collecting. Right. That's my plan.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Wait and see what we're working with.
Exactly.
All right, thank you. I know that our district clerk is in the audience. What item are you here on, Ms. Hinojosa?
Did we take action?
We already did. I'm sorry, can you step over to the podium? We can't hear you.
Judge, I don't have anything going on. I was here for UTPA, and I just wanted to see what some other agenda items that were being discussed, but thank you.
You're welcome. Item 12, our Health Department.
Good morning, Judge Commissioners. I want to go over 12A, discussion action including but not limited to indigent health care program and expenditures. I want to give you a brief update. There's been a series of meetings that we've been discussing the 1115 waiver in our regional health plan. One of the primary areas, we're getting ready to finish up our regional health plan that will be submitted to the state. However, we've gotten to a point where we are needing some assistance in finalizing this plan. We are working with a development of an interlocal between the University of Texas system and the hospitals and anchors and partners to the regional health plan to bring on a consultant that would be assisting us with finalizing that regional health plan. We've been reviewing this information with Steve Crane and following through on getting that interlocal going, and that would be paid by the University of Texas system. And at the time when we develop our funding mechanism for the anchor, we will compensate the UT system back for those services once that is done. Is that correct, Steve? In that direction we're going with that?
We're looking at that direction.
We're looking toward that direction. It's important that you all know that that plan is going to be critical to the operations of this whole South Texas 1115 waiver. Very, very important. The next part on that is we're also I'll be asking to meet with each and every one of the commissioners and the judge individually to discuss the mechanism for the anchor and its funding for the next 5 years and looking at some possible alternatives to that, and we'll review that as well. So I'll be meeting with each of you to discuss that. Any questions in regards to the 1115 waiver? Okay, I'll move on to item B. These are items I tabled last week that I'm bringing back this week, having to do with some of our grants that we received. There were some procedural changes on paperwork that we needed to catch up with our budget office and HR on. So item B is for health, for our clinic and child health services program, requesting approval of the following personnel action changes, deleting slot 34003 and creating slot 34003, but we're downgrading that. We're actually bringing a county savings and bringing that down from a grade 5 to a grade 3, from a clerk 3 to a clerk 2. And I'd like to, and then that's item 1A, and item 1B is approval of the Child Health Services grant salary schedule attached to it.
Need action on that?
Yes, we need action on that.
Second.
Need a second. Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 2 was similar, but brought it back this week in completion of the procedural changes. It's clinics and perinatal services grant, 1100 and 1293, requesting approval of the following personnel action is deleting slot 0340 and creating it at a lower grade, so it's going from a grade 5 to a grade 3, again bringing the cost savings to the county. And 2B is approval of perinatal services grant salary as schedule.
Move for approval on 2A and B.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
On item C, sir, we're going to take no action today, pending review from legal counsel and an upgrade of the rule changes from the Department of State Health Services and HHSC in regards to the 1115 waiver.
Thank you, sir.
Have a good day.
Item 14, Urban County.
What about 13A?
What about 13?
13A.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners.
13A?
Oh, I'm sorry. I had scratched it out. I don't know who we taking it. I'm sorry, Tony. We got one other item before yours. 13A, Facilities Management.
Approval of credit application with Baker Distributing Company to purchase HVAC supplies. Rick Sunday Facilities Management. Evidently, these are supplies for our HVAC technicians to maintain and repair our various HVAC systems across the county.
All right, move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. How much money are you seeking credit for?
No, just a credit.
I apologize, Judge, I don't have it in front of me. Apparently, Daniel Flores must have put it on the agenda.
It's a credit app numbers.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, sir.
Now, item 14, Urban County.
Item A, Judge, it's public hearing to consider public comments on the County of Hidalgo's Consolidated Annual Performance and Evaluation Report, CAPER, prior to submission to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development.
This time we convene a public hearing to consider any public comments on the county's evaluation report, which is being submitted to HUD. Is there anything about it you want to make the public know, aware of before they get up, or to decide whether they want to make any comments?
No, Judge, this is a report that we do at the end of every year. It's due 90 days after the end of the program year, which ends June 30th. That's just a regular report that we submit to HUD on all the expenditures and accomplishments of the Urban County Program.
All right, if there's no one desiring to make any comments one way or the other, we would close our public hearing, move on to item 14B.
Request approval to enter into one home buyer assistance program contract under the home program.
So moved.
Second.
Though, are you helping out a particular buyer, or what is it?
Yes, it's down payment assistance to a family, Judge.
Do you want to put the name of the person getting the assistance?
Yes, sir.
For the public to know?
The name is Sue Ellen Lugo and Juan Manuel Rodriguez from the city of Donna, Texas.
All right. Those in favor of the motion as made and seconded indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Item 15, our elections office.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. Item 15B is discussion, consideration, and/or action of November 6, 2012 general election early voting mobile poll locations, which you have in front of you. We have worked very hard, very diligently to get 2 weeks of early voting, and as you can see, we are reaching out to our county and going out to, for example, both Mondays on Mobile Unit 1, we are going to our courthouse so that we can reach the members that work there, as well as jury members that are being called. We have added in Mobile Unit 2, Commissioner Precinct 2, and Commissioner Precinct 4, since they do not have permanent poll locations, and Commissioner Precinct 1 and 3 do. So we are reaching out and going to serve the commissioner offices as well as all the surrounding. We are very happy to note that we have all hospitals on board. We are working with ACT, and they had brought on Doctors Renaissance, but we had a call from Mission Hospital. They came on board, and Carrie Lambert also helped us to get McAllen Medical and the behavioral science. We also have all the banks on board, and we are also going out, for example, to WIC when they have their monthly meeting. We're heading out to the new administration building on that Friday the 2nd, because they do have quite a bit of walkthroughs where the people come for taxes and their licenses and renewals and all that. We are heading out to the sheriff's office. We're very excited about being approved to do 2 Sundays at the Basilica, Our Lady of Guadalupe in San Juan. So we will be setting up out there to try to reach those that, that go to that church. We're really trying to turn this around and make it a service where we reach out to the community and go and get our numbers up, really reach them for those that are so busy and don't have an opportunity to go to those permanent poll locations. So we're very excited about that, and I ask, does anyone have any questions?
I don't, but I know you put a lot of work into it, both you and your staff and the other members of the committee that was working with ACT.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And hopefully the numbers will reflect that.
That's our plan.
Yeah. I know we've approved the locations of early voting locations.
And election day.
And election day locations. The only thing lacking, I think, is the names of the people that are going to be hired for election judges.
Yes, sir. And we're working on that already. We need to, of course, work on ballot board, and that's the next step. We're already working on that, and we'll bring that forward.
When do you think you could provide us with a preliminary list?
We're hoping to do that very soon. We usually bring that to you the end of September, early October. So we're working with our new chair, the new Democratic chair, as well as Mr. Villalobos with the Republican chair. Already have lists on board, and we're getting them also to give us new names. If anyone has any recommendation, of course, we also ask that you contact Melissa Alvarez at my office so that we can continue to work on these lists.
If you could provide us with what you have, and that way we can look and see if we have any recommendations.
Okay, sir, we will do that.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
This needs to be approved.
Move for approval.
Check.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item C, approval of full contract for election services between Hidalgo County and the Mercedes Independent School District for their election to be held November 6, 2012.
Move for approval.
Check.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Last item, D, approval of contract for election services between Hidalgo County and Hidalgo County Drainage District Number 1 in accordance with a certain interlocal cooperation agreement dated September 20th, 2005.
Move for approval.
Check.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you, sir.
Item 16, our public defender.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Patty Loya for Public Defender's Office. Item 16A, Public Defenders, Juvenile Section 1282. 1, requesting approval to accept the attached FY 2013 multi-year discretionary grant award. Contract number 212-23-D09 in the amount of $161,876 from the Texas Indigent Defense Commission for the period of October 1st, 2012 to September 30th, 2013.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Number 2, approval of the certification of revenues as certified by the county auditor.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
3, approval of appropriation of grant award funds in the amount of $161,876 and the local cash match in the amount of $75,016.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And number 4, approval of salary schedule.
Move for approval.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank
Thank you. Item 17, our right-of-way.
Yes, Judge, Commissioners, Joe Payne with the Right-of-Way Department. Item 17A, discussion and authorization for county judge to execute earnest money contract to purchase offices on North 10th Street and request county auditor to issue 2 manual checks, one to Valley Land Title Company in the amount of $5,000 for the earnest money deposit, and one payable to Rolando and Laura Cantu in the amount of $100 for option fee.
Second.
Was that, those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. What's the option that you're paying a fee for?
To give us the option to terminate the contract if...
To do what?
It would give the county the option to terminate the contract with...
Oh, okay.
Joe, is the funding in place or not? The funding is in place.
We'll be providing a transfer for that account. It'll be coming out of the CO's 2010 A and B. So yes, the funding will be in place. We'll prepare a transfer for the
That's a
auditor.
question from the auditor.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, funding information was not.
It'll be coming from that, from the Metaplex account.
So you'll
So
be
we'll provide
doing
the transfer later on.
emergency transfer?
That one. All right, sir. Item 18, our planning department.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners,
Good morning, sir.
Administrator. Just one item on the agenda today is final approval of variance request for Medellin Bay Phase 2 subdivision. This is a subdivision located in ETJ of Edinburgh, and it has been approved by the P&Z and City Council of Edinburgh. And it's also been constructed. Everything's in place. It has been signed off by the Right-of-Way Department, the Office of Environmental Compliance, the Health Department as well, the Drainage District as well. The variance is a simple variance. They're requesting a setback of 15 feet instead of the 25 feet for lots 85 through 94 and 99. And if you look at the plat, those lots have a double frontage. They face on the rear Canyon Road and on the other area, FM 2812. So they're trying to shorten the front setback to move those structures away from those roads, which is a practical thing to do, and also allow the 60-foot type of
Are you recommending this?
Yes, sir. The advisory board has no objection, and we really see no objection to it either, sir.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Item 19, Precinct 2.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners. Raul Salguero, Precinct 2, representing Commissioner Palacios. Item 19A, Judge, Commissioners, is requesting approval of a consent agreement with the Irrigation District Number 2 for purposes of the Minnesota Drainage Project.
Subject to legal review.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
The auditor has...
Yeah, there was going to be a revision to the agreement?
There's going to be a revision to the exhibits.
Yeah, to the exhibit. I think the agreement referenced an exhibit that's going to not take place. Also, the funding is in place?
Yes. Well, there's no funding for this particular agreement. We have the funding is in place for the project. We're simply, this agreement is to get a permission from the district. They have an easement to be able to work on the project, on the easement that they have.
I think the agreement also references that we're going to be doing some work on their...
You're correct. There's also, we're replacing that irrigation line.
One of their pipes, yes, which is part of the project cost, which is funded.
That's the funding that we wanted to confirm. That funding for
Yes.
this agreement is in place?
Yes. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir. Item 20, Precinct 3.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Item 20A, approval to create the following temporary full-time position not to exceed 6 months and/or December 31st, 2012. Slot number TO90, office clerk, budgeted salary at $18,720.
Move for approval on A 1, 2, and 3.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Item 21, Precinct 4.
This is for Precinct 4. The confusion here and the reason for the claim is that in the past, all advertising was, for the most part, paid directly to the monitor, and it is now a request by the auditor, and we concur that POs be issued, well, requisitions be submitted. So these are bills to the monitor that had not been covered by a purchase order.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye, motion carries. Item 22, our budget, item 22B.
Is that for all future? Yes. I'll need to find out. All right. Okay. Morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Yes, sir.
We're passing out a summary of the draft proposed budget for fiscal year 2013. We'll be filing that with the county clerk and the auditor's office, and also publishing that on our county website tomorrow morning in accordance with local government code 111.066. As we know, the economic conditions for that occurred when the recession began in 2008 still affect Hidalgo County. However, we did start seeing an increase in our tax levy this fiscal year, which is a good sign. The effective tax rate for the 2012 tax levy was 59.57. However, the proposed budget that we've just handed you was developed using a tax rate of 59 cents, as had been directed by Commissioner's Court. The total tax levy for 2013 is going to be $157.5 million, of which $139.8 million is for the maintenance and operation or general fund, and $17.7 million is for the debt service fund. The proposed budget for general fund for maintenance and operation is a total of $175,956,978. This includes estimated revenues of $161,349,000 and of estimated $161,349,082, of which $141.5 million is from property taxes and $19.8 million is from other source revenues, such as fines and fees, fee-for-services that we collect. And it also includes an appropriation of $14.6 million from the general fund balance. The total proposed budget for Hidalgo County, including all other funds, is $241.9 million. In addition to the general fund, it includes $23.3 million from special revenue funded departments and functions, and $20.4 million for the debt service, which is the principal and interest payments on our debt. It also includes $22.2 million for the enterprise fund, which includes the health benefits fund, the workers' comp fund, and the jail commissary. One of the major additions that we've included for this year's proposed budget is the cost of living increase for county employees in the amount of 3%. We've also included a step increase for all law enforcement personnel. We've included funding for the opening of the service substation, both personnel and operating, to be effective July 1st of next year. We've provided for the opening of the county court at law number 8. We've included new personnel for the district attorney's office, the county clerk's office, and the sheriff's office. And we've also increased other object codes such as fuel, room and board for housing of inmates, the retirement contribution for electricity, aid to other non-governmental agencies to the tune of about $3 million. Major reductions in the 2013 fiscal year budget as compared to last year's is a reduction to the UPL contribution of $250,000, and also a reduction to the transfers out to the Road and Bridge Fund of 10%, or roughly $750,000. One thing that we did include in there was the transfer of the drainage program employees to the drainage district. However, in speaking with Mr. Godfrey, it's my understanding that only Precinct 1 employees will be transferred out to the drainage district.
Yeah, for right now, yeah.
So that won't have an impact as far as on the budgeted funds, since most of the employees are from a reimbursement basis. However, I will need to amend my salary schedule to include the employees, the drainage employees for the other 3 precincts.
And because if you transfer them all, he would have to raise taxes next year.
On the drainage district, that's correct. So we'll go ahead and before I file the proposed budget with the auditor and the county clerk's office, I will include that.
Those 2 positions for the district attorney?
Yes, we included, I believe, 4 positions for the district attorneys, 2 attorneys.
No, 2 positions.
The 2 investigators, that's correct. Yeah. We did include the 2 investigators that were approved today. We did include them in there as well.
And before we approve it, there's a young lady behind you, Ms. Porter, has requested permission to speak.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Judge. Good morning. Good morning, Commissioners.
Yes, ma'am.
I was instructed it might be more appropriate to comment here, even though we did sign up for open forum. Just wanted to let you know. I'm from the Rio Grande Valley Food Bank. I'm Chief Development Officer there. And we have come into a bit of a problem that we need your support on. We are requiring, or most grants now, as you well know, are very competitive. The funds are diminishing. And we need to see a community effort for support in order to then compete for larger funds. So we're requesting a $10,000 allocation in order to be able to move forward and parlay that hopefully into some matching funds in other places, both with state, federal, and private foundation funding.
As I understand it, your organization, the Valley Food Bank, is private, nonprofit.
That is correct.
And you, in the event of an emergency, a hurricane disaster, or anything of that sort, your organization would be a distributor.
That's correct. We're the #1 agency for distribution and disaster relief, and we're named in the county plan.
All right. Well, that sounds like a reasonable.
Go ahead and put it on that.
Can you include?
Thank you so much.
Yeah, $10,000. You ought to include
we can include that in the proposed budget as well. We'll just reduce one of the object codes on the contingency account, countywide contingency account, by the amount of $10,000 and include that to the aid to non-governmental agencies within that same program. Judge, Commissioners, another major change that we included and perhaps might be worth a discussion before we file the proposed budget, is the transfer of the Constable 5 positions. We currently have them scheduled all to be transferred to Precinct 1 Constable. However, I know there have been discussion on transferring some positions to Constable Precinct 2 and perhaps one position to Constable Precinct 4. I don't know if that's still the will of the court, or we can present some more items and we can make that change during the adoption proceedings.
What is Constable Avila's comments to that?
He had been requesting that he receive all the employees. However, I mean, we do have fiscal constraints, and I know there was a strong support for the Constable Precinct 2 receiving some personnel, as well as Constable Precinct 4. So if we can...
Commissioners Court agree that Precinct 2 would get 3 positions or 2?
I believe they had looked at maybe transferring at least 2 positions and one position.
How many total positions does Precinct 5 have? 7?
Precinct 5 has a total of 7 positions, 6 deputies and 1 administrative assistant.
And there's 2 that are vacant, right?
There's 2 that are vacant, correct, sir.
But one of them is going to be taken up by the present constable.
Well, we can't say yet. He needs to apply.
Right, but that's what was indicated, yeah.
So we're looking at... So you're talking about transferring open slots?
Open slots. Again, we can file it, transferring all the constables to Precinct 1, and then we can discuss this.
Then we'll look at it the first of the year. If we need more slots, we'll just give them a couple more slots. You know, we can transfer this the way we're talking about.
Okay.
Then come first of the year, we can just look at it again. We need to...
So what are you saying, Commissioner, to go ahead and transfer the slots and then...
come first of the year, we'll just go ahead and look at them and visit with the constable, see what they need.
Transfer the slots as proposed to Precinct 1, all to Precinct 1?
Not all of them.
2 to Precinct 2 and 1 to Precinct 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the other 4 over there, and then we'll go from there.
But it's not 4, Joe, it's only 3 because the elected office it's gone.
No, there's still 7, right?
So January.
There's a total of 6 deputies.
6 deputies, okay.
So Constable Precinct 1 would stay with 3 deputies and 1 administrative assistant. He did make mention that he did need that administrative assistant. Currently, his administrative assistant that he currently has has a high comp time hour that are banked, because it's very difficult for him to take some time off. So I would recommend that we keep that administrative assistant with Constable Precinct 1.
In January, you visited.
Yeah, we'll
visit
with the Constable Avila, see what he needs, and maybe give him a couple of positions or so.
Sergio, how many are going to Precinct 2 again, and Precinct 4?
2 would go to Precinct 2 and 1 would go to Precinct 4.
Okay. For right now. Yeah. And then we'll look at it come January, February.
Yes, sir. Judge, if there's any other questions?
What about the privatization?
The privatization, we're still working on the privatization. We had a meeting, I believe, last week with all the chiefs as far as on reviewing the RFQ. I think that we're going to come back and hold another meeting with the committee members to incorporate any changes that need to be made to the RFQ, and we hope to present that to Commissioners Court, if not next week, hopefully by October 2nd, and bring a draft RFQ for Commissioners Court for perhaps approval to be let out.
What about the permitting of the landfill for Commissioner Flores?
It's been permitted. We just need to, we're going to need several $1 million to open it up.
Yep.
So we still need to visit with our engineer. Maybe when we go out for COs, we'll include that in there.
Yeah. It's a good idea.
All right, sir.
And I guess Mr. Quintanilla is trying to get me some numbers from the Edinburgh landfill. No luck yet.
No.
Yeah.
All right. By the way, what is the total amount going to be?
The total budget?
Yes.
Would be $175,956,978. It would leave a balance of $20.3 million in our fund balance, which equates to roughly 11.7%, I believe.
That'll grow up to about 30 million by the end.
We hope to grow. We'll be working to grow that up to 30 million, which would be roughly in excess of 17% of the adopted budget by the end of the fiscal year. Again, we do want to start as soon as possible doing the departmental reviews and start going through that process to see what efficiencies we can generate from within for future budgets. Maybe have some reduction strategies for the next budget.
Make sure you include the 10,000 to that food bank.
Yes, sir. We'll make sure to make that change.
You included the museums and everything, right?
Yes, it includes the museums.
So what about the?
We've restored the funding to that, and we've included the Mission Museum as well, in the amount of $40,000.
Are we sticking to the plan with the elected officials raises and everything?
Elected official raises, we're deferring, we're not taking our, at least for county commissioners?
For the commissioners, no, there was no increase in the, for the commissioners' court.
Raises for elected officials.
You're sticking to the same plan, correct?
Yeah, we said the commissioners decided not to take any, and the rest is just what we.
We did receive notice from the sheriff.
The sheriff?
Sheriff Trevino, asking that he would not accept an increase to his salary for the next fiscal year. And he also made mention in his letter that he would request that other elected officials follow suit and turn down their raises as well. Just for the record, just stating what.
Have you asked the sheriff if he could possibly open the sheriff's substation with patrol staff?
We've asked Commander Gonzalez, and I believe he's going to be visiting with the sheriff to see if that can be feasible. Maybe opening up the substation before the July 1st date, using existing staff. Perhaps not opening up the detention, since there's no detention officers.
We'll wait till July, but fully staffed.
Because the situation on the new building, it's not healthy for the new building to be closed like that. You need to keep the units running, and, you know, there's others. You may want to visit with facilities on that.
Commander will be visiting with the sheriff on that, see if we can start deploying some of the patrol staff over there. But as soon as I get more direction from Commander, I'll make the court aware of that.
All right, so the tax rate that you're proposing will be the same, no tax rate increase?
No tax rate increase. It would be 59 cents, the same as it has been, I believe, for the last 10 years.
And you just gave us the amount of the budget. What about the date, time, and place? What would those, what would that be?
Also, Judge, on item 2, again, this is also only for presentation. I did include a copy of the tax assessor collector's special inventory budget for next fiscal year. Again, this does not have to be approved by Commissioner's Court. It is filed in my office, and it's available for public inspection for the constituents at any time. So we will have that in our office, and we'll also publish that on the county website.
So are we adopting the tax rate and the budget next week?
Next week, we would need to set the date, time and place to adopt the 2012 tax rate. Again, we have already published notice that this will occur next Tuesday, September 25th at 9:30 a.m. here in this facility.
So I would just need 2 meetings, correct?
No, next week.
No, but it has to go through 2 meetings, correct, or just one?
No. There's no public hearing for our tax rate, since it's below the effective tax rates. There's no public hearings that need to be held. It's just a setting of the tax rate.
And the adoption of the budget, just 1 meeting?
And the adoption of the budget at the same time.
And we'll do that next week?
Yes. So if I can get approval on items 3 and 4 to set the date, time, and place to be September 25th, Tuesday, September 25th at 9:30 in this facility for both the adoption of the tax rate and for adoption of the 2013 fiscal year budget.
Need a motion to that effect?
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 22C1 is approval of 2012 appropriation of new source revenue in the amount of $421,866.14. This will be appropriated into the countywide contingency account and will be utilized for room and board housing of inmates.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners.
Item 23, purchasing.
Martha Salazar for purchasing. We have nothing to report or action to be requested on items 23A12, A, B, and C, and we will proceed with item 3, recommending action to reject sole bid received for Hidalgo County's dead body pickup and transport services due to lack of participation, and we will be re-advertising that project. If I may have a
Lack
vote.
of participation, you said?
Lack of participation, yes, and this is being recommended by the DA's office, and we concur.
Okay, you need action to that, correct?
All right. Need a motion?
Yes, we need action to reject.
Need a second?
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 4, we're requesting approval of the final negotiated contract with Coca-Cola Refreshments USA formerly known as Coca-Cola Enterprises Incorporated, for vending machine services for Hidalgo County.
Move to approve.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item B1, this is requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements under Texas Local Government Code 262-024A, a professional service.
Approval.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
We're presenting the scoring grid for the purposes of ranking by Commissioners Court of the firms nominated, graded, and evaluated to the county's pool of engineering firms. Those were LNG at 99, Dynenbaum Engineering at 97, and Isaguirre at 78. Does the court wish to rank them in the order of their scores?
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item C is authorizing purchasing to negotiate a professional engineering services contract with the #1 ranked firm of LNG.
Move to approve.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Presentation of the sole bid received as detailed in the tabulation sheet contained herein, meeting all specifications and/or requirements for the purposes of award and approval of contract. That would be hauling of all road materials. We had 7 participants. We had 1 sole bid received. That is with Roy's Hauling, and we're recommending award.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item D1, the District Courts, acceptance and approval of a work authorization #4 with Paul M. Basaldua, DBA. Basaldua and Associates in the amount of $9,500 in connection with professional services agreement, and that is for the purposes of providing consulting services to look for a grant related to violence against women for the 370th District Court.
That is for what now, ma'am?
It is looking for soliciting for and applying for a grant for violence against women to help the court system. This is being requested by the 370th District.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
E1 is for the Sheriff's Department. We're requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements under Texas Local Government Code 262-024A7, an item that can only be obtained from one source.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And B is requesting approval of the sole source declaration for Affix Technologies, including authority to purchase an automated Affix Identifier V61 fingerprint base 2-10N system, and which includes the license support plan installation and training. And this is also 2 days of the training on site through the requisition number 221781.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you, ma'am. Our first presenter is Laura Reagan Porras. Do you need to speak? You've already got what you wanted. All right. You're welcome to speak, but I believe you've already made your point. All right. And Mari Gutierrez. All right. You do not desire to speak. All right. Thank you, ma'am. Next presenter is Delma Cadena. Thank you. Good morning, Delma. Do you have no desire to say anything this morning? All right. Fern McClarity.
Don't you wish I'd have said no, not today? You always say, hey, great.
We like you to speak, Fern.
Pardon?
We like you to speak.
Okay, thank you. I have 2 questions, 2 items here. Why would you give an elected official raises now? Why not, if anyone gets the raises, it would be the ones that are low on the totem pole, the ones that are doing the work. And is it true that some of the department heads do not need to be in their offices, do not need to clock in or out, but they need large raises, and why? A lot of these people, I understand, are getting $70,000, $80,000, $90,000, $100,000. Why not the workers, the employees that are there day in and day out, the ones that are doing the work right now, that are making $18,000, $20,000, $30,000? Why not these people? Second thing I'd like to ask, and I keep asking, is why can't the county reopen the property on Hackberry for the McAllen taxpayers? The largest taxing body is the city of McAllen. We all had a walkthrough with several of the county employees, 5 or 6 of them, and that building can and should be reopened. Have you not looked at, to put other departments in that building? So again, we're asking you to open it up for McAllen, for they can get their card tags, and those people can pay that extra $20 so they can get their tags at an office. So we're just asking, I have the numbers, and again, Alamo is very, very low if you would like to see them. The one in McAllen that's on the expressway, it's very low. So why would you not open it up for the main taxpayers that are paying to this county? Thank you.
Next presenter is Victoria Roldan. Next presenter, Victoria Roldan. All right. Next presenter is Karina Cardosa.
Judge, Commissioners, just wanted to remind the court and the public about our town hall meetings that are continuing. Judge has called a series of town hall meetings throughout the county to inform and educate the general public about the critical need for drainage upgrades. There is one being held tonight at the South Texas College Cooper Center Auditorium at 6:00 p.m. Judge, I believe you and Commissioner Palacios will be attending. And Commissioner Quintanilla, there are 2 in your precinct this week. The one tomorrow, I believe, is in Weslaco City Hall, and then there's one in Mercedes on Thursday. So we would like to remind the public to check our website for a schedule of upcoming town hall meetings, and we encourage all residents to attend and learn about this need for drainage upgrades. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. This time, pursuant to 551-071 and 072, would entertain a motion to proceed to executive session. Those in favor indicate by saying aye. 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 Motion carries. We will be in executive session for a short while.
Mr. Peña, and it was 26A. 26A, open session.
Right. You're up, Joe.
26A.
Yes.
On real estate, I'll proceed as directed.
All right, sir.
Thank you.
Judge, Commissioners, if I may, 26B, pending under potential litigation, there is no action at this time. 26C, cause number C-1529-08-1, Dyer versus Hidalgo County and TxDOT, just proceed as directed. 26D, claim of Christy M. Florido. Judge, Commissioners, I'd like Settlement Authority to make an offer in the amount of $200.
Move to approve.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye. 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 Motion carries.
Item 26F, claim of Cindy, I'm sorry, 26E, claim of Consuelo Gonzalez. I will proceed as directed. Item 26F, claim of Cindy Dillon. Judge, Commissioners, I'd like the court entertain an action to tender or self-insured retention on this claim and allow our carriers to proceed and negotiate settlement.
Move to approve.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye. 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 Motion carries.
And item 26G, Hidalgo County versus Guerra Construction, will proceed as directed.
Correct.
Move for approval. Oh, you don't need an action.
No, just proceed as directed.
This time, no other business. Would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Judge.